मुस्कुराओ हर हालात में कि वो तुम्हें तुमसे ज्यादा जानता है। घूंट दर्द के जो तुम पी रहे हो, वो भी कहीं वो घूंट चख रहा है। हर दम हर घड़ी कि वो तुम्हें तुमसे ज्यादा जानता है। Gosh, I forgot this was the video of Indigo part 2. This happened because I at times make videos covering up few social topics. So I apologize for that. Over to Indigo part 2, with the hope that you watched my previous video in which I covered up little bit of the chapter Indigo, laying emphasis on Indigo issue. I also try to tell you the page number from where you can learn the exact Indigo issue, and elaborate information about that is given on that. So let's proceed further. Gandhiji decided to go to Champaran, that we all know, along with Rajkumar Shukla, in order to solve the indigo sharecroppers issue. By the way, what is sharecropping and what are tenant farmers? If you still have doubts about that, then watch my Indigo part 1 video again. There I have explained it clearly, that what is the meaning of sharecropping and who were tenant farmers and who were British lords. History, I know, at times is tedious. So Gandhiji, in place of going to Champaran first, straight away, he decided that he would be going to various places, covering up few places where he could create awareness amongst people about indigo issue. So we learn that he went to Muzaffarpur, which was en route to Champaran, and as he reached the station of Muzaffarpur on 15th April 1917, we come to know that Mr. Kripalani, this is a story of how, Indian farmers, they were exploited by British lords. So we would be coming across the name of many freedom fighters as well as prominent personalities who have important role to play in the struggle for freedom. Whether history remembers them or not, but these names are important. So I repeat that Mr. Gandhi reached Muzaffarpur on 15th April 1917, and at the station he was received by Mr. Kripalani, and there at Muzaffarpur he stayed in the house of Professor Malkani, who was basically a government school teacher. So it was extraordinary on the part of definitely Professor Malkani to give shelter to Mr. Gandhi, because government at that time, my friends, that was British. Then the story proceeds further and we come to know that the news of Gandhi's arrival to Muzaffarpur, it reached where? To Champaran, that a Mahatma was trying to fight for their rights and he was trying to solve their problem. So these people, these farmers, they started arriving to Muzaffarpur from Champaran on foot. Here we learn that Mr. Gandhi was angry with the lawyers at Muzaffarpur for charging a huge amount of fee. He said that lawyers and law courts are for the welfare of common people, but here the fee which was charged by these lawyers was so much that poor people were scared of approaching them. And such problems like indigo issue, had these problems been sorted out by the lawyers in the initial stages, these problems wouldn't have taken such a serious shape. Such a great personality, don't you think Mr. Gandhi was? After this, we proceed further and we come to know that slowly and slowly more and more people were trying to join Mr. Gandhi in his struggle for the farmers of Champaran. Indigo issue slowly and slowly was becoming a movement, becoming more powerful. So Mr. Gandhi finally reached Champaran and he visited the Secretary of British Landlords Association. The secretary told him that they could not give any information to an outsider. Mr. Gandhi was considered an outsider by them, and they said that they would not give any information about the indigo sharecroppers matter to any outsider like him. We learn that Mr. Gandhi proceeded further to various places, and the next morning he moved to Motihari, the capital of Champaran. There, a farmer, he wanted his support, and we learned that with this he was probably trying to collect the support and was trying to make people aware of the indigo issue. Again, a messenger came to this place and he was given an official notice this time to quit Champaran. Mr. Gandhi ignored all these messages because he had come to Champaran to solve indigo issue, and he would be definitely making all the endeavors to solve this matter. Motihari, we come to know, was full of peasants. Mr. Gandhi still remained at that place. He was trying to create awareness, trying to collect support, cooperation of common people and lawyers. We come to know that the officials felt powerful without Gandhi's cooperation, and he was polite all the time and friendly, but he did not follow the official orders to quit Champaran, because he said that it was his inner voice which was telling him that he should be helping these farmers because they really wanted his help. And somewhere he might be a lawbreaker, but for him the voice of his soul was more important. And by listening to the problems of these peasants, definitely he was helping a huge group of people who were helpless without his support. We come to know that again and again he was told to quit Champaran. In the meantime, Rajendra Prasad, Brit Kishore Babu, Maulana Mazrul Haq and several other prominent lawyers, they arrived to Bihar, and they all had come to give their support to Mr. Gandhi. Orders were issued from the side of court that Mr. Gandhi should be jailed because he had been continuously given official orders to quit Champaran because he was an outsider, but he was not paying any heed to these orders. So, till then, indigo issue had become a movement, as I told you. Common people were there, prominent lawyers were there. So all these people said that if Mr. Gandhi would be jailed, they all would be following him. The British government was baffled. British government was shaken. They thought that now it would be necessary for them to talk to Mr. Gandhi. So we come to know that in the month of June, Gandhi was called by Sir Edward Gate, the Lieutenant Governor of the province. After four meetings with the lieutenant, finally an official commission of inquiry for the indigo issue was made. The commission consisted of landlords, government officials and Mr. Gandhi to decide to look for a solution for the poor sharecroppers of Champaran. Finally, the decision of the commission came out, and it was decided that the British lords would have to pay compensation to Indian farmers for their exploitation, for their oppressive policies. They had taken a huge amount of money from these tenant farmers. So the amount fixed was 50% of the entire matter, which was reduced to 25% by Mr. Gandhi, because he said that at that point of time when India was struggling to be free, non-cooperation movement was going on, the British lords bending down in front of Indian farmers by giving them compensation. It was a great symbol, it was a victory of the freedom struggle, and definitely the farmers of Champaran, they were victorious. So this particular portion of the chapter should be very clear to you, that initially the commission decided to give 50% of the entire matter of the compensation to the Indian farmers, but this 50% of the entire money amount was reduced to 25% by Mr. Gandhi, because he laid emphasis on the fact that it was not important for the farmers to receive money. More important was the fact that the British lords, they were bowing down in front of Indian farmers, thereby realizing that their policies were oppressive and they had exploited Indian farmers beyond a limit. So the Indigo issue was finally solved, we come to know, and the British planters abandoned their estates and the Indigo issue was solved and the sharecropping disappeared. Mr. Gandhi noticed that there were various cultural and social backwardness at Champaran. So he thought that complete upliftment of this place should be done. For that, he called his volunteers, he called his wife Kasturbai, as it is given in this chapter. He even called his son Devadas, so that all sort of problems could be solved by these people. Health conditions were miserable at Champaran. In the name of medicine, only quinine, we learn, as well as sulfur ointment and castor oil was there. 3 medicines only were there, and women, they did not know anything about health and hygiene. So Kasturbai educated women about all these matters, and finally, with the help of his volunteers, with the help of his son, with the help of all these people and their support, complete upliftment of Champaran was done. So we learn that the Champaran episode was considered as a turning point in the life of Mr. Gandhi. How it was considered as a turning point in the life of Mr. Gandhi? Because not only did he solve the Indigo issue, not only he helped these poor tenant farmers to come out of the clutches of the British lords, but also the common people, the common villagers of Champaran, who had all sort of issues, who did not have proper medical facilities, who did not know anything about health and hygiene. They were also made aware of all these things so that life could be better. So this is how this chapter ends, children. And at the end, we are told that such a great personality was Mr. Gandhi that he had Indian as well as British followers. Louis Fisher writes this chapter just to lay emphasis on this thing. The main policy of Mr. Gandhi, which attracted the attention of people, was his policy of self-reliance. We all are aware of that, and because of this policy, having faith on the policy of self-reliance, Mr. Gandhi had so many followers, Indian as well as British, as well as people from all nationalities and countries. They worshipped him. So this is the end of Indigo summary part 2 video. If you still have any doubts from this chapter, please leave your queries in the comment box. Thanks for watching my channel, and yes, subscribe to my channel and keep on giving your queries, keep on giving your views, and wait for my next video. Till then, bye bye.